Hello, and welcome to Plant Me Green TV. I'm Michaela Raconti. Today we're going to be talking to Eric Rogers. He is going to give us a few tips so we can plant this peach tree in such a way that it will thrive. Hi, Eric.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming in today.
You're welcome.
Now, I just have a few questions for you. First, I wanted to know, how big of a hole does someone need to dig for about the average size tree?
Well, in this case, I've already taken the liberty of digging a hole, but typically what you want to do is you want the hole to be about twice as big as the plant that you're actually putting in there. So as you can see, I've got my hole dug out there, and you've got plenty of room in there to backfill the soil in there.
It is more complicated than just taking the roots and sticking them into the hole.
Yes, it is. You want to make sure that your root ball, which is the top of the soil on the plant, is even with the surrounding soil. You want it to be as even with it as possible so that you can get enough oxygen to the roots. The roots will need oxygen just like the rest of the plant will. The other thing you'll want to do is you'll want to go and first slide the plant out of the bucket. You're going to notice that the roots are growing, conforming to the edges of where the pot was. If you don't do anything about it, they're actually going to probably continue to grow in that same pattern. So what I want it to do is I want it to grow out into the rest of the soil. So I'm going to take my shovel, or you can take a knife, anything you want. I'm just going to make some little cuts here on the side. Now this isn't actually going to damage anything. In fact, what it's going to do is it's going to encourage these roots then to grow out to the side, and you'll have a much healthier plant this way.
What about watering while you're planting and watering the tree afterwards?
Well, that's a good question. One thing you want to do is put a little bit of water in the hole. I would put it about maybe a third of the way full of water before you plant the tree. This does two things. One is, of course, you're going to water the tree. Another thing is that it also waters the surrounding soil. If you put a tree like that's been watered frequently into dry soil, you're probably going to shock the roots. Afterwards, you want to keep it wet without drenching it. So I would water it every day. If it's in the summertime, you probably want to water it more often. You might even want to water it a couple times a day in the summertime, at least for the first week. After that, you can start tapering it off very gradually. After a while, you probably won't need to water at all after that, unless it's just really dry.
What about using fertilizer?
Well, I wouldn't use any fertilizer right away. This tree has already got fertilizer incorporated into the soil. If you go and you add fertilizer now, you could actually shock the tree and cause it to have some problems or maybe even die. The best thing to do is to wait until it's been established for a while. You can add some fertilizer later in a few months if you'd like to. Best bet, wait till the spring. When it first starts putting on new growth or just beforehand, fertilize it then with a good slow release fertilizer. This being a peach tree, I would wait until it starts to set fruit, and then you could fertilize it again at that point when it needs more of the nutrients.
Okay. Now, what about using pesticides and fungicides?
A lot of people go and they react immediately. When they see a problem on there, they want to spray something on there. Sometimes they'll spray an insecticide when it's really a disease problem. Sometimes they'll spray a fungicide for what's really an insect problem. Sometimes there's actually no problem at all. It's just the natural cycle of the plant. The best thing is if you see something that does not look right, or if you're concerned about it, cut it off, take a sample of it, and put it in a bag. If you see an insect you don't recognize and you want to know what it's doing, put it in the bag. Take the sample up to your local extension agent. They'll take a look at it. They'll tell you what it is, what it could be doing to your tree if there is a problem, and if there is a problem, what you want to do about it.
Okay, great. Well, there are some tips for the next time you plant your next tree. Our thanks to Eric for sharing some of your knowledge here today with us, and thank you for watching. Come visit us online at plantmegreen.com. I'm Michaela Raconti, and I'll see you next time on Plant Me Green TV.